Hi, my name is Shelly Robinson, and I am the founder of Alively, a healthy self care subscription box for moms. And I wanted to create a video for you this month because I wanted to shine the spotlight on one of the products that you received inside of the January box, which is Matcha Tea. Matcha Tea is one of my favorite wellness products in my health arsenal, and I wanted to just take a moment in case you were new to Matcha Tea or were unsure of how to use it or how to integrate it into your life. I wanted to take a moment to give you a little bit of an overview of what it's all about, and I'm going to conclude this video with a demonstration of my personal favorite beverage to make every single day, which is a vanilla matcha latte. But first, let's just talk about what is matcha. In case you're new to this type of tea, I wanted to give you a quick definition. Matcha tea is basically a Japanese green tea leaf that is ground into a very fine powder using granite grinding wheels. And it's a really amazing way to consume tea that's different than a typical bagged tea experience. So the reason I love matcha so much is that it boasts so many health benefits, dozens of health benefits. But I thought I would just share with you what my top 3 favorite health benefits of matcha tea are. The first one, which is probably my number one favorite, is that matcha tea has both an energizing and calming effect. The neat thing about matcha tea is that it contains about 1/3 of the amount of caffeine as coffee. So it still has a little bit of a kick to it and it has the caffeine in it, but it also has something in it called L-theanine, which has a very calming and grounding effect. So it has this like magical combination of both energizing and relaxing. And I love it because sometimes people, myself included, can struggle with feeling a little bit over caffeinated after a cup of coffee, especially if it's something you might drink on an empty stomach in the afternoon and you experience jitters or a little bit of anxiety. So the wonderful thing about matcha is that it kind of blends both that energizing and calming effect. So it's really good if you struggle with a little bit of the jitters after a cup of coffee. Another wonderful benefit of matcha tea is that it is super great for increasing metabolism. And I don't know what other way you would want to increase your metabolism than with a really yummy beverage. It's so good. It keeps you kind of humming throughout the day and really revs up your metabolism. And all you have to do to get that going is drinking a cup of tea. So I love that about it. And then the third thing that I love about matcha tea is that it has so many antioxidants. It is just power packed with them, and it's a really cleansing and detoxifying beverage that doesn't do anything to disrupt your tummy or make you feel, like I said, jittery or over caffeinated, but it actually has 14 times more antioxidants than something like wild blueberry. So that just kind of gives you a frame of reference for where it falls on the antioxidant scale. So I could name dozens of other benefits of matcha tea, but another one that I would be remiss not to include is that it really tastes good. I mean, that's like the best thing about finding something healthy that actually tastes good. We don't want to really have to choke down our health food, right? So that's why I wanted to take a minute to make sure you had a really fantastic recipe to use with this packet of matcha tea that you got. And just let me, this is what you received this month. And the brand of this matcha tea is called Jade Leaf Organics. It's 100% organic. And let me just tell you from personal experience that I have used and purchased this tea for about 5 years. Prior to purchasing this brand, I had kissed quite a few matcha frogs, let's say, by purchasing all sorts of different brands and from companies that did not have the highest quality. And one way you can always tell that you're getting a really high quality green tea is by the color of it. So if you look inside of your green tea bag, you will see a glowing emerald green color, which just means that it's very high quality and grown in the best shade possible where organic matcha tea leaves are grown. So it's just a wonderful color and it has a beautiful taste, and I think you're really going to love it. So with that, I wanted to share with you my favorite recipe for making something called a vanilla matcha latte. And it's one of those self-care activities that I personally include in my life just about every day of the week. I look forward to it. It relaxes me, it energizes me, and it's just one of the many ways that I kind of treat myself with that love throughout the day to make sure I'm taking care of me. So what you're going to want to do is grab a half a teaspoon. And I will say I would recommend starting off small with matcha tea if you're new to this. I would not recommend anything more than a half of a teaspoon. So we're going to start with that. And you're going to go ahead and pop that into your mug. And I will show you, grab your favorite mug. Mine is Motivation. You might not be able to see this. It says Motivation in a mug. And then the next thing you want to do is add your favorite sweetener of choice. Now, you will see that inside of your subscription box this month, I included a little stevia packet just in case you didn't have a sweetener handy. But if you don't like stevia, you can use raw sugar, you can use honey, whatever your preference is. So go ahead and take that and dump a little bit in there. I would recommend starting with this packet with about half a packet and then try it out and see if you want to add more. You don't ever want to over sweeten your tea to the point where it's, it's not palatable. So half of a teaspoon of the matcha tea, a little bit of stevia, and then you're going to add about 1/3 cup of hot but not quite boiling water. So we'll just go ahead and add that here. Finally, you want to finish that off with some unsweetened vanilla almond milk. You can use plain almond milk. I prefer the vanilla. It just gives it that sort of extra sweet boost and a nice flavor that makes it really feel like a coffee shop sort of latte. So you fill it with 1/3 cup of hot water, and then the other 2/3 you can fill it with the milk. And then just take a fork or a whisk, or if you're feeling really fancy and like really pampering yourself, you can throw this in your blender at home if you happen to be home and give it that fun frothy sort of feeling. But a fork or a whisk will be fine. So you can just mix it up like this and you are all set to go. I hope you love this as much as I do. I wanted to point out one last thing before I said goodbye. I wanted to make sure that you saw in your subscription box this month that there is a little insert by Jade Leaf Organics that includes all sorts of fantastic resources about other ways you can use the matcha tea. You can include it in baking. You can make matcha cookies. You can even make a face mask out of it. And then there are other recipes for how you can use it in other beverages. So definitely take a look at that. And most importantly, if you love this tea as much as I do, there is a coupon for a Lively subscribers in there that you can apply to your purchase if you decide you want to get another bag of this. So with that, I hope you enjoy it, and cheers. Here's to healthy matcha drinking.